step in. So bear with me, guys. I'll try and get through this as quickly as I can. I know we've started late. It's Tuesday night. I've got person, and we've got Grant Toghill from Strath TV on camera duties. So minutes and matters arising. First ask, is everyone happy with the vote? No. With it being filmed, sorry. I'm new to this. If you still put your hands up, I'm going to assume there's no objections. Okay, that's fine. Andy will show you how these pad things work.
Okay, that's fine. Hello. So you should all, if you're voting, you should all have one of these. Basically, when you get you should turn it on, which is the top left-hand button, top corner, left-hand corner, and that will hopefully register you with here. So if it should come up just saying Quizdome, and that's fine. If it says it can't find something, when we get to a voting stage, it'll come up on here, A, B or C, and A is for the motion or amendment, B is for against, and C is for abstaining, and you will vote. It'll also come up here, A, B or C, and you can vote for A, B or C, just the top strip of your voting pad, and then press the button which is immediately below the top left-hand button that you use to turn it on, and that sends the message. It's like a text message, and essentially it sends to the system. We'll get it'll come up on our screens when everybody's voted, and then we can show.
So now moving on to minutes and matters arising. Basically this was passed back from Policy Council. So this was proposed here, taken to Policy Council. It was just a matter of kind of adding a point from a belief into background.
Adding into notes 5.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a typo correction essentially.
Is there anyone here from Policy Council? Do you want to speak to why it was created, why you added that?
Oh yeah, sure. We added that part because basically to make sure that it's understood that guest speakers are still allowed to do speakers, but it's simply that courses in itself should not be run by companies but still by the university. That's why that guest speakers are still allowed in university. That's all.
Yeah, so we're going to have a first vote just now. So Andy's gentleman up at the back doesn't have his thing working.
Do you know? It's not working? Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's option should come up A, B or C. Is that happening? Yeah? No? Everybody's had option A, B or C, has clicked on one and then pressed the send button. Yeah?
So if you push A, that's for the amendment.
When it's 60% of people have voted.
Well, they can see how many
Okay, is everyone happy with their vote?
Oh, sorry. National Technological University.
You can see our 90 million. So obviously it's passed. Democracy wins. Okay, moving on to the exec update. I'm the only member from the exec here that's not away doing other important stuff. So that's that done. If you don't want a personal update, just come up and see me on level 7. I know some of you just might not be dealing with me because you're class reps, but I'm happy to go through some questions. But I think we're just going to crack on into the meat and bones of today's meeting, which I think is all here, which is the motions. So how the first motion is we're going to have 2 speakers, have 2 minute speech for the person that's for, we're going to have 2 minutes against, and we're going to have a maximum of 20 minutes for I do have a here, so I'll be very critical on both sides speaking, because this could get heated, this could go on for ages, so I'm just going to be professional. So if we can have, so obviously this motion is the freedom of belief, which is on page 2 of your books.
Can I have a copy of those, the things?
Yeah. Does anyone else not have a copy of the agenda? Can I have the 2 speakers come to the front, please? So sorry, you're Emily, and you're 4. You're against. Sorry, I don't know this. And you're Laura, and you're 4. Okay, so we're gonna go with Laura first, who's for the policy. You're gonna have 2 minutes. I'm gonna ring the bell with about to wrap up stuff, and then I'll ring it furiously at 2 minutes if you've not finished. I'm the same. Okay. If you'd like to start.
Basically, our motion looks to remove a section of policy from the Student Union Manifesto that limits the freedom of belief, explicitly pro-choice, and does not leave any room for students to express a different viewpoint on the matter. We're not here to enforce our pro-life beliefs on campus. We just want equality for our views as well. A pro-life standpoint is a legitimate one that many students share on campus, and to stifle the opinion is completely against freedom of speech. All students with different viewpoints should be able to benefit from shared resources from the student union. We're open to debate and we're open to be challenged on a position, but to deny us the pro-life message would undermine the certain values in society that we live in, which is fundamentally free speech.
Yeah. You don't have to use them. Okay.
What the union reads is that the right to abortion is a woman's right to, it's a fundamental right to women's freedom and equality. What this is trying to say is essentially that women no longer have this right, and this is widely accepted. 75% of people in Scotland believe that women should have rights. What this is about being funded. It's about whether you're able to campaign for this under the name of Strathclyde. And it's a matter of whether you will be funded to go to pro-life conferences. And I have to say that it is not in my name that people should be holding up a banner at a conference that is pro-life, that denies women a right that is so fundamental to their ongoing struggle towards freedom and equality. 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago, the Abortion Act has ended deaths of try to through unsafe ways. And I don't think that we should be turning the clock back on this. We see what's happening in Ireland, where it's absolutely horrible. And this is not really a matter of free speech. As I said, it's a matter of funding. The Strathclyde Union has policies on tons of things. It has a policy on trade unions. It has a policy on refugees. It has even a policy on Israel and the Israeli state. I don't think that this is any different, and I don't think that denying students the right to fund them and to campaign actively for pro-life is denying them their freedom of speech.
Okay. thank you to both speakers. You can sit that proceed for just now. So we're going to people in this room will have things to say, whether or not it's agree, it's probably not agree, but what I can just say is if we can, as much as we can help, not repeat ourselves and bring new information to the discussion points. If you can ask direct questions, that would be up to the two speakers if they're willing to answer that. So I'll take first question or first statement of belief. Yes.
It's not going to be statements, but going to be a question, if that's all right as well.
Yeah, we can direct. Yeah,
I've got a question to the no fraction on the motion. How does what you said about we have in the policy being today? How does that thing that says the union opposes any moves to restrict the current legal situation?
Well, basically what I think is that it is basically implied in the policy that it is being opposed because it is a human right. It's not like anybody who speaks in favor of pro-life is going to get jailed. It's just that the union is going to oppress their view against it. And if it was changed to neutral, which is what the motion is trying to do, then it would be a matter of funding because the union has a policy that is pro-choice and that says that they don't accept pro-life or that they will campaign against pro-life, so that's why they won't be funding it. But if it is changed to neutral, then that means that they will have to go funding towards it.
Right, so that would mean that both pro-choice and pro-life campaigns could be funded
But I
if
think
it was changed.
Right, but I think it's just a matter for choice. So if you're pro-life, you can decide against having an abortion. You know, it's not pro-life.
Yes.
Hi, sorry, can I ask your name? Sorry, just
Helena.
so. Helena. Hi, sorry, I'm Mike from Mathematics and Statistics. You were saying that it's not about freedom of speech, but rather a matter of point. On the Student Parliament notes, it says that the USSA does not allow for pro-life societies on campus, but there are pro-life societies on campus, and so the union policy as it stands just now doesn't allow them to be on. So this quite clearly is not hindering and opposing that view that is clearly there. So I'd be interested to hear what you have to say to that one.
I think if a pro-life society was registered in the name of Strathclyde, that would include some sort of funding. So basically, you know, when you go to a meeting like this and there's pizza, things like that, that's like a lot of money that would go towards this. That would include financial stuff.
Sorry, can I just ask, you were saying there is pro-life societies on campus.
Yes.
Can you clarify what they are?
Well, the Catholic Society, for one. I'm not sure about the Christian Union, but speaking to some members from them, they were quite surprised in the policy. So you'd need to seek clarification from them, but certainly the Catholic Society is very much against.
That's part of the thing.
Pro-life societies are not allowed on campus.
But that's not their primary purpose. Their main purpose is not to be pro-life. Their main purpose is that they are a Catholic or Christian society.
Just for clarification here with this, obviously societies and clubs are definitely my remit. When a new society affiliates, you have to basically have at least 10 members, pay your membership fees, but you also have 3 aims. So it's these 3 aims we look at to determine what kind of society, if it's a music, an art society, whether it's a community society, faith and culture society, it's these 3 aims. So I'm pretty sure from my memory that the Christian Union doesn't have anything.
Just about on one note. Is that the current state of play?
We don't really have societies that purely campaign. We have a hub, so we kind of work together. So you wouldn't have to join the society to start.
No, but
campaign.
if there was somebody with 10 members and said, right, we're going to be pro-choice, that's what we're setting up to do, that's what we are societying around and going for it. Would a pro-choice one be allowed to affiliate a pro-life one not?
Well, at the moment, the way the Constitution stands and the way I get is our equal opportunities policy, which is this is an extract from. That would overrule.
Right.
Right.
Would a pro-choice society be allowed to affiliate?
At the moment, no, and this is.
So neither would be allowed to affiliate. So neither would really get any sort of funding. Is that what you're saying? Because if neither of them can get affiliation or funding, I kind of wonder what the point of the motion is.
Where's Laura? Yeah, sorry, at the back. Maybe you might be able to clarify this. But as far as I'm aware, this motion was brought to us from the Catholic Society.
Basically, yeah, I'm a Catholic, but from a pro-life perspective, we're not affiliated with any religion at all. We're affiliated with all religions and secular pro-life people. What we done was we applied for funding for a pro-life conference, because as a society we really to apply for funding from the Catholic Society. So we applied, but we were denied this. Whereas we think that, and we also, some of us are looking to start up a pro-life society. We're not out there just campaigning against abortion. We're brought in like a whole variety, like abortion, euthanasia. It's a whole host of pro-life issues. But basically, right now we can't have a society because well, it's pro-choice, and basically in other universities across Britain, like Oxford, Edinburgh, there has been attempts to stamp out pro-life societies and a pro-life voice on campus, and there's been debates across universities all across Britain, and basically most of the universities have agreed that it is against the freedom of speech to
Yourself first.
Abortion based on your religious beliefs. But pro-life in itself is oppressive. It says women have not the right to choose over their bodies. I shouldn't say women actually, I should say people that are having babies, because that is not all women. And of course the university takes political stands. Of course, the union takes political stands. And I think equality, women's rights should be one of them.
I would say that this is not about freedom of belief. What this is masquerading as freedom of speech, but actually wanting to drop a fundamental right for women. Because what you're saying by this is that it explicitly states women's control over their own bodies and access to safe abortion is fundamental to women's freedom and equality. If what you're wanting to do is to have the union drop that, saying that this is no longer a right for women and that you can use union money to campaign against this. What else, if we look at the Catholic Church, what else might you oppose? You have opposition to gay and transgender rights, you have opposition to contraception. It's we would never allow the society to fund opposition to gay and transgender rights. This is no different, this is a fundamental human right.
My issue with this is that I understand you have the right to an opinion, but it disturbs me that funding would go to something that I'm fundamentally against. Because I feel like everyone has a choice. I don't want money going to something that restricts that, and so that's my problem with it, is the funding aspect.
Rob.
Point 2 of Student Parliament Notes says, therefore USSA does not allow for pro-life societies on campus. I would say that that's a falsehood due to the fact that we do have societies who have a pro-life stance. They are affiliated with the university, so that means that if specifically there was a pro-life society wanting to, it would probably be denied. But there are actually societies with members and with specific sort of agendas towards certain political views. The Catholic Society has this pro-life view and is affiliated, so I think I would propose an amendment to this to strike the USSA does not allow pro-life societies on campus, but keep the funding part.
Yeah, sorry, can you say the last bit again? Take out the
not allowing the pro-life societies to be on campus, because they can be on campus, as we currently have one on campus, but the funding part can stay, because we have had issues, or they've had issues applying for funding for pro-life.
Yep. As far as I'm aware, with the Catholic Society, obviously, pretty sure, I might be wrong, that they've not affiliated yet and they're waiting for affiliation based off this, because obviously this goes against some of their beliefs, and I think Lauren might be able to confirm or deny this, but this might be like, why would we affiliate with an association that is somewhat against us?
Yeah, basically, the pro-choice argument, they're saying they don't want to provide funding for the pro-life argument, but as a Catholic society that has been established on campus for many years, we have now decided we don't want to provide money that is for pro-choice and for like arguing for abortion. So although there is pro-life views on campus, like you can't stifle views of like faiths. We have spoke to multiple like faith groups across campus, and they have all, whether their faith explicitly comes from a pro-life point of view, they have said that the basic fundamental of this motion is the freedom of speech and expression, and whether
a lot of different religions and faiths on campus. I don't think you could really say that without backing it up.
Sorry, as the chair, I'll be directing the questions, just so that we're not having bickering right across the room. Just to come back to on what Robert said, he said that perhaps maybe we should allow pro-life societies on campus, but for USSA not to give them funding. This would be an amendment to the motion, so I'm proposing that we discuss changing that slightly, where we would allow pro-life societies on campus, but we wouldn't be giving them funding to go off to conferences.
Or specifically pro-life conferences.
Or
because
specifically pro-life.
we're not wanting to specifically sort of say you can't be Catholic because that's against the
Yeah.
law.
Okay, sorry Robert, do you want to clarify specifically what you're proposing the amendment on?
I would say I was just making an amendment on the notes part of it, but
So you want to remove notes 2 or amend notes 2?
Amended students to attend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the notes and then make my choice.
So if he's removing
Sorry, I've not done this before, so I'm a bit rusty through this. Number 2 is student parliament notes. These are not facts. These are just kind of,
these are meant
they're meant to be facts. But yeah.
So if they're not facts, then the motion or the solid backing behind the motion is invalid. I would say.
Or you believe
Okay.
it's invalid?
So just to explain, in terms of how a motion works, the top bit, notes, is facts, the middle bit, believes, is her position or opinion, and the bottom bit, resolves, is what you're going to do about it, the action you're going to do. So the bit at the start, Parliament notes 1 and 2 must be facts, so this Parliament must be happy with those 2 things being factual. If there is a suggestion you want to amend them, because you don't think they're factual, then we must have a vote on that.
So if you're saying that maybe we should have pro-life societies on campus, but not funding, that would be in a resolve rather
No,
than
I'm
notes.
saying that if the Catholic Society is affiliated, then point 2 or the first half of point 2 is invalid. Thus, would
They're
have to be
not
amended.
currently affiliated.
Okay, that was not made clear.
Well, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Would you like to go forward with an amendment?
no. After that's been made clear, then.
Excellent.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, could I please comment on Laura saying that maybe the Catholic Society doesn't wish to give funding to pro-choice movement? What I think about this, well, we're putting the democratic vote basically because we want to decide. Actually, this whole decision might have more to do with what your personal opinions are than you think, because it's not purely a matter of free speech, but it's actually a matter of what you think should be women's rights, or what what do you think should the money could go towards? So if your opinion on this is pro-choice, then it would make sense for you to vote against the motion, because basically it's your money, it's the money that could go towards your society, or it's taxpayer money that's being put towards this. So it's important to have like a democratic decision on what the money should go to. So if you're basically not pro-life, or I understand that if you're pro-life you don't want to give money to pro-choice, but it's a democratic decision, so it's, yeah.
I'll go with Niall first.
Okay. Two things. Could be pro-choice girl mentioned something about something about what happened in Ireland, but I've never heard anything about that. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes. So basically, it's a service that's free for people in Scotland and England that people from Ireland have to pay for because they have to travel here. And also, there's a lot of cases. There were like women who were raped in Northern Ireland that couldn't get an abortion, which is really, really horrible. So and women die. So that's the sort of thing that's like really bad, and that basically criminalization of abortion can lead to.
Do you mind if I add to that?
Yeah.
I think approximately 4 women per day in Ireland come to Britain for an abortion, which can cost between £3,000 and £5,000, because they do have to go privately, and they also have to pay for their travel. There's no resources there whatsoever, none, and it is actually a criminal offence. So if the government is made aware of the fact that you've gone for an abortion, you can actually be prosecuted. It does lead to a lot of dangerous abortions, and the terms coat hangers and hot bath and whiskey are common. Like, from growing up, that's something that I'm.
And for the pro-life girl, so you say that say you think it's wrong for your society's money to.
Sorry?
If you think it's wrong for your society's money to go towards something you're again, would it all? Would it also? Wouldn't that also mean that say a vegetarian society would be allowed to stop their money from going to any society that promotes the eating of meat or something similar?
See, to be honest, why we're here, it's not about funding. Like, as a society, we can fund ourselves. It's just basically we want to be here so that we can allow our society to be present on campus. Like, you're not bothered about funding. We can get funding from elsewhere.
Okay. On track. Yes, I know this is a really big issue, but the reason we're here today is to discuss the motion, which is freedom of belief. Currently, if you look under section 2 under women, it says the union opposes any moves to restrict the current legal situation, and the executive is to actively campaign against any attempted restrictions to women's right to a legal, safe abortion. So under that instance, the exec, which is made up of myself, Gary, Mikey, 6 of us, would be to kind of help the Northern Ireland legal system, because that's not letting them have a legal, safe abortion. So we're discussing when it boils down to as far as pro-life societies on campus.
There's women's control of their own bodies, that safe abortion is fundamental to women's freedom.
Yep.
That's the motion is to drop that. So it's to drop that whole thing. It's not just for the funding and for allowing the societies. You're dropping that right for women.
I'll go with the guy right in front of me up the back in the teal t-shirt, and then I'll come to Leonard.
It's just to ask, has there been any surveys or student polls carried out for this? Because I know in general there's there's only a bunch of vets here really, so if it's a uni-wide issue, then if there's any statistics that can kind of back up pro-life or pro-choice decisions, that would be useful.
I think they both have statistics from both different sides. In terms of a survey, basically the way we submit motions just now is anyone can submit them online. So this has come, I think a few of us are here tonight specifically to debate this. It might be a consideration whether when we come to vote, it could be a referendum issue, which would take place next semester. But as far as we USSA haven't surveyed this to all our students.
In terms of this standing policy has been on the books since I think around about 1999, 2000, and has been updated twice and retained since then.
Leonard.
Yeah, I've got a question to Laura. I've just realized that this paragraph 2 consists of 2 sub-paragraphs. The first one stating control of women's own bodies, access to safe abortion, whereas only the second paragraph actually states how the union opposes moves, how the union campaigns actively, and I would like to ask why you want the total paragraph removed, as in both, and not only the last 3 lines, because that's, in my view, that would obstruct your freedom of speech in that view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we didn't have an option to remove just 3 lines of it. It was to oppose the amendment, was opposing those last 3 lines as much as it was anything else. What the problem is, we feel is, actually Elena said at the start that 75% of people are pro-choice, and we're not saying they're not. We're not saying that we are a vast majority and we want our voice heard over everyone else's, but are we saying that 25% of people aren't, specifically, exclusively are not allowed funding and support from a students' union? Earlier on this year in Westminster, the Maris bill was put forward and it was defeated. 67% voted for pro-life. That was against euthanasia. Pro-life deals with more than just abortion. There was also the bill put forward by Patrick Harvey earlier on. It was maybe this year or last year. That was also for euthanasia. That was also defeated. Are we saying that the voices of people that hold pro-life views and opinions are invalid? Are we saying that this unit does not support you, does not support students? We can't have a pro-life meeting and order pizza because more people are against us. If this union was, and of course 5% of this union were for slavery, not and as such, there shouldn't be a denial of funding coming to us. Funding should be able to go any which way. Not everyone's going to be happy with the situation, including us, but that doesn't mean exclude a minority group, because that's what this is. This is an exclusion of a minority opinion.
Can I just ask again, is there any specific reason why both paragraphs want to be erased by the policy and not only the last 3 lines?
We'd be happy with the last 3 lines being...
Then I'd like to request an
We've
amendment
run
of
over
that.
a bit there. I know a few hands were going up at the last point I made. You can... Yeah. In terms of your last point that was made, you can remove the last few lines. The reason why this is brought as the whole section was because when you raised the vote to women's control over their own bodies, therefore that is the entire paragraph you motioned to move rather than from the union opposes.
Can I propose
Yeah.
an amendment? Sorry, I've been trying for
Yeah,
ages.
sorry.
The student parliament resolves. Can we just lose number 1 and just have it as number 2 is what's, because that's actually the freedom of speech.
Yeah. I think on the last point as well, they were saying about removing the last 3 lines, but
well, because
yeah,
from my point of view, the union can campaign on what the union chooses to campaign on,
yeah,
as long as
the
it's
union
allowing
is,
on-campus opposing
yeah,
voices.
because the union essentially is made up of all the members, which are yourselves and like 22,000 students, so it's not really us as a building to decide on campaigning, it's the members to campaign.
But that's
I know
basically the amendment that I propose, is just
Yeah.
to remove number 1, student parliament resolves. But
Which
keep
would
number
mean,
2.
yeah, so if sorry, what's your name?
Eddie Allen.
Eddie, so what Eddie is proposing is under student resolves, student parliament resolves, number 1 is taken out, which would mean in this section of women's control over their own bodies, just have number 2, which would students of both pro-life and pro-choice persuasions are able to have a voice on campus and benefit from the same resources.
Sorry, I think that this specific amendment would actually make the union's policy inconsistent in itself, because then number 2 would say the students of both pro-life and pro-choice persuasions are able to have a voice on campus, whereas the policy would say the union opposes any moves to restrict the current legal situation.
Right.
So that's why I would actually propose to make the amendment to not take the first 4 lines out.
You can't propose an amendment now that an amendment's been tabled. We need to now discuss that, vote on it, and then if you want to propose another amendment, we can do that.
Yeah. So the first amendment would be to remove Student Parliament Resolution 1, which would mean this would remain in, this highlighted paragraph 2 would remain in, and the union would allow students of both pro-life and pro-choice to have a voice. So, can we have someone speak for that amendment? I'm suggesting yourself as you proposed it.
Yeah, well, could I ask a question first?
Yeah.
I mean, assuming that anything that comes from this parliament, or any parliament, will frequently have implications for the union's policies anyway, so don't they get reviewed by like a policy committee or something like that anyway?
So both motions that will be proposed today will be taken to Policy Council. I think a few people from here attend Policy Council, as well as myself from clubs and societies, sports attend there, and Raj has his diversity group, which go there as well, so it's kind of different streams go there to vote and decide. Obviously it's taken with the background, so we had a couple that we passed in the last student parliament, which I wasn't at, but when I came to vote, I was told about what had been said at the meetings. So if we can have a 2-minute foreign discussion, because I know it's getting quite late, but it's a big issue. So would you be happy to speak for that amendment? Yep. Could we have someone to speak against that? Yep. So this is purely the amendment to keep all of section 2 in and remove Student Parliament Resolve 1. So if you both like to come down. So if I can just give each speaker a minute to speak, because I know we've had quite an intense discussion, maybe about 25 minutes. So if Eddie, you'd like to go first, and then sorry, what's your name?
Dorothea.
Dorothea will go second. I'll ring the bell about 15 seconds to go, just so you know, and then
Basically, I'd just like to remove number 1, because I think that's the one that's basically going against the whole abortion thing and all that, whereas Resolve 2 is very much about freedom of speech and equality of speech. I think if you've not got number 1 there, then it is purely a freedom of speech, and it's not about whether you believe in abortion or not, or whatever or not. It's about whether you think everyone has the right to speak their beliefs at the same level of access and resource in the university. I thought.
Yeah, that's fine, thanks. And Dorothea?
Well, it doesn't make it any much better, because it's about resources. Resources is money. Money is power. If you're not pro-choice, if you even move a little bit away from pro-choice, that means that women might not possibly have, might under certain circumstances, not necessarily have the decision over their own body. And so, even if you keep that in, that does not make it in any way better. Resources, as I said, that's the money. That's the money that we use. There are certain things that you're not going to open up a society now either to say that a certain ethnic group is horrible and expect funding from the union from that. I can't do that either, and in the same way, this should not be the case for women's rights either.
Okay, so we're going to have a vote on the amendment for, which would be to remove Student Parliament Resolves 1, the paragraph stays in, You have the option against, which is to basically reject that amendment, and then we would probably have a further discussion about what amendments would need to be taken. Or option C is abstain.
Is this working?
No, this will be the amendment. So, from the looks of it, it looks like we'll be amending this motion.
Is it working? This is because we said we weren't going to accept amendments during, so I've created a PowerPoint, and once you vote on something, you can't vote again on it, basically. So we can use this one. Yeah, is this going to work? Yeah. To create some votes, but yeah.
Or could we just have like put the things up in the air?
No, you can vote. You vote using your buttons.
Vote using your buttons.
A for
So this is for the amendment.
B against, C abstain. This is just for the amendment, not the motion.
No, it isn't.
Can everyone make sure they voted and that they are happy with their vote? I'll give you 10 seconds. We're about 90%, so if you haven't voted.
So once you've chosen A, B, or C, make sure you press the submit button.
Right, right, we're just gonna cancel in 5 seconds. Sound? Okay. B. So that amendment has. So does anyone propose any other amendments to this motion? Yes.
Yeah, I would like to propose the amendment of point 1 to make it read not to remove women 2 and the entire paragraph, but to instead make it read the last 3 lines from the union opposes any moves to restrict, etc., safe abortion, so that the motion will then read to only remove these 3 lines from the policy.
Yeah, your amendment, this would be the same, and it would read women 2, it start women's control, end in own decision, and then it would go 3.
Sorry?
So we just basically delete those 2 lines.
Yes.
And is that the only amendment?
That would be the only amendment.
Okay, so we need a. Do we have anyone to speak against this amendment? So again, 1 minute speech, I'll ring it at 15 seconds to go, and then so Leonard will be speaking for.
Yep. Right, so what I see here is 2 paragraphs that where 1 is about women's control over their own bodies, and 2 is about the union opposing things. What I see here is that one side is against the union opposing beliefs or opinions because they feel that this restricts their freedom of belief, and I can understand that. On the other hand, what I've heard is that other people think that women's control over their own bodies and access to safe abortion is fundamental and very important. So that's why I don't think that this specific part should be removed from the motion, that would actually, and that's why I feel that this amendment would be important and make the motion a lot better.
Thank you. And Rob, your minute starts now.
So this section, I understand, is in 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph is background. It's actually just telling you the beliefs of pro-choice, the pro-choice movement. The second part of the paragraph is actually what the union wants to do. If you take away the second part, you might as well take away the entire part, because all it would actually just say is pro-choice movement is there and they believe in this, which actually states what the union is doing about it. If you want to make it so change the second part to what the union is going to do not remove the entire thing, because that is what I think is bad.
Okay. So we're going to vote on the amendment again, same time, same rules as before.
Your thing off and then back on again. Super.
Okay, everyone, can we check our little vote? The option of A, B, or C. Please turn your voting button off and then turn it back on again.
Yeah, that's what mine did. Are we allowed to ask questions of the people who speak for or against the amendments?
I tried switching it off and on again, it's not working.
Still quiz them. Still just say quiz.
Just quiz on them.
Like
now.
You have the option to ask questions after the whole motion.
But should we, like, with the amendment itself, we just need some clarification on the amendment that's being proposed?
People start voting.
So is it not how it works that you can't discuss amendments before they're voted on?
It was just a speech for and against. Which is not amendments right here.
We're voting on something different now. So the discussion we had before is
We're voting on to change the motion.
yeah, this, it's important to discuss, like, you're changing the motion, like, surely you should.
Yes, once we change.
You haven't voted on the motion yet.
Yeah.
No, I know, I understand that. I mean, the amendment itself, we want to discuss the amendment itself before the amendment gets through or gets voted on. Like, surely that's like a kind of democratic right to be able to ask questions of people that are putting forward the amendment.
The amendment is removing something.
I understand it's removing something.
Essentially, an amendment can get voted and can be refused.
I understand.
No, I understand, but that's not our point. That's not our point.
So is it absolutely outlined that you are not allowed to discuss the amendment and for or against speeches?
Is everyone voted? Is everyone happy with their vote? I know we've got a few people still left.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Duplicate.
So this amendment has been rejected. Does anyone have any further amendments they'd like to propose to this motion? If there are no amendments, we would be voting on the motion as it was proposed. Okay, so we've had two amendments proposed. They've both been rejected, such as democracy. So we're now going to vote on the motion. Yeah, so in conclusion, we're going to have a final sum up speech before we vote. Unless there's any new questions or discussions, but I think we've spent about best half of 45 minutes discussing this, so I think we've heard both sides. Yeah. So can I have someone to speak for the motion of freedom for belief? Yep. If you come down. And can I have someone to speak against freedom of belief? Yeah, if you'd like to speak. So we're going to go for first. Again, you'll have 2 minutes to just kind of bring up everything that's been mentioned and discussed about into a conclusion. I'll ring the bell, 20 seconds to go, and then again at the end, and I'll cut you off. And you're alright with that? So if we have yourself go first.
So as I said just at the end of my last comment, what we're proposing is equal opportunities for all students. We don't think that any opinion should be stifled. Neither one. People have many different opinions on many different things. This is a legitimate viewpoint. There was a pro-life rally in George Square 2 weeks ago, one last month. People do believe in this. Religious groups believe in this, but that's not to say it is an explicitly religious viewpoint. I know many people who have no religion at all who are pro-life. What the current standing of the union is to deny funding to people that have what I see as a legitimate viewpoint. What is a legitimate viewpoint? As I said before, we can't have a pro-life meeting and order pizza because we believe in something that maybe a majority of people disagree with us on, but should an opinion be completely stifled, no room for discussion, no room for challenging the current position, when should they be stifled altogether instead of having open discussion? So we want freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and as such, we should be able to have a pro-life society on campus. We're not challenging. We're not just about abortion as well. We're about euthanasia. We're about the refugee crisis. We do a variety of different pro-life activism, and shutting us down completely, I think it underpins freedom of speech, which is a fundamental principle on which this society and all societies were founded upon.
Thank you. Okay, and Dorothy will speak against this motion.
What the current policy says is that the union should not have an opinion about whether or not a woman is going to have an abortion or not. But it's only the woman that decides who is going to have an abortion. She is, of course, or the person, Okay. Of course there's free speech. This is the only reason why we're doing this right now. You can speak up. You can even try to have a vote on this. But for us to go back on that, not as a union and not as a society. That is pro-life. Well, women die. Women die because they cannot get abortions. That is pro-life as well. It's such a fancy word. But to fund this, to fund this means we directly support it. It means we don't have a neutral stance anymore. If we allow pro-life societies to get funding from us, then we are not neutral anymore, and that is the issue that I have with this. Thank
you. Okay, so we're now going to vote on the motion as was proposed, freedom of belief. So again, A is for, nope. B is against, and C is abstain.
Yes. Oh, wait, mine flipped this. Oh, no, never mind.
Not these trousers. I need flexibility.
Pro CEO Strath TV. Got this from last year.
Oh yeah. That looks completely different. Has everyone helped with the vote? Has everyone voted? I think we're one off. I think that's a pretty big motion, so it'd be good if we could.
It should just have one letter on your screen if you voted. We got a problem up the back.
Do you want
Yes, please.
Yes, please. It's fine, but the squats will be not so very slow. It's Major Laser.
100%.
Okay, so these are the results. Essentially a 2-1 victory. This motion has been rejected. Both sides and for all those who participated in discussion. It was a big one, but we got through it. So we're now going to go on to
see, that's not on. If people leave now, it doesn't bore it.
you want to just go on yours?
Oh, yeah. I think we're below 30, aren't we? How many do you have left?
Yeah, okay, there has been a call for...
Now that we've been above 30 once.
We were about 31, 32, maybe.
We were 33,
yeah.
and there's a number left. We've left now.
Yeah, so Edward makes a good point. Obviously, a lot of people came for this one. I know it's week 8, a lot of students will have essay deadlines and stuff. So he was going to bring a motion. I think if you're alright with that, you'll pass. Delay that.
I'm just... The only question I want to ask to the chair is whether the Parliament can still make a valid vote or not. If it can...
Show of hands, everyone who is either...
If you just lift your voting buttons up in the
yeah.
air.
Are you, oh no, you're not.
Okay,
how many have you got?
We have 20. Sorry, Leonard, we're going to have to move this on to next meeting. The next meeting will be the 8th of December. We will have the Associate Deputy Principal of Learning and Teaching from the University, Brian Green. These are things. Oh, sorry. I was that one. Can I go through this first? Yeah. So Brian Green is going to come to the next one, which will be 8th December. Hopefully we'll get a bigger turnout. But is Mohammed Belabs? I'm definitely not saying that right.
Actually, it's Mohammed Belabs.
Okay.
My name is Mohammed Amin. That's not my second name.
Okay.
But yeah, you can call me Amin. Sorry. Alright.
Ahmed is not proposing a motion, he's just here to talk to you as class reps.
Yeah.
So if you want to have like 5-10 minutes?
10 minutes? Yeah. Sorry guys. So basically I'm here because after talking to Raj and Jerry, for those who don't know who are Raj and Jerry, Raj is the Vice President of Vice President of Support. Yeah. I don't know why I say welfare, but yeah, it's Vice President of Support. And the thing is, like, the university is doing really badly at the moment, and the principal wants the university to improve. And the thing is, basically, I'm sorry if I will offend anyone, but I'm a straightforward person. We need to get our shit together, guys. Because like, the university is doing really badly, and I don't know if you read the Strathclyde Telegraph. Personally, okay, no offense, but I don't read it. This edition, why I got this edition, because a friend got her article here. Reading it, and I found here something interesting. Strathclyde bottom in Glasgow for teaching quality. And I don't know, but if you know Yik Yak, yeah. So what happens in Yik Yak? What Strathclyde students say about the Glasgow University and Caledonian? We usually tease them stuff. Yeah, but we're at the bottom in Glasgow.
No.
It's like if you want to keep teasing them, guys, we need to. Well, you know, I already said what we have to do. So the problem is like, we are class reps and we are not doing well. The fact that you are here means that you care, and I'm surprised so much people invested in the cause of the motion of abortion and stuff. But the thing is, like, I heard Josh saying also that it's the first parliament when actually had people who were passionate. So it went from happiness to sadness. I got very disappointed. I was like, yeah, people are motivated, but actually if it's just, because he was saying you just come for the pizza and just you leave. So yeah. And I'm a bit, yeah, it's quite sad so doing stuff, because how many of you know that you have a common room, or you have to have a common room in your department? Yeah. I talk to business students, they don't even know that they have a common room. Yeah, you have a common room, guys, and the common room is like basically from there to there. Well, you have
a meeting with the faculty, and we raised this issue, and they told us that the common room is like an empty room, or okay, there's chairs, tables, but of course they don't know it because it's on like on the basement of the business school. So how they're supposed to know it? Okay, and we introduced this in the previous meeting we had, and we sent I think an email to the people around for example, my department in HR. I don't know about the other business school.
But so basically, what you're saying is like the common room is in the basement. That's why students don't know about it.
What?
No, but I'm trying just to understand what you're trying to communicate.
I'm talking about HR because I'm a faculty. I'm
Oh.
a rep for HR. I don't know about the whole business school.
Oh.
I'm talking about the HR.
So basically, do your students know that you have a common room or not? Okay, that's a good thing, but I'm talking about the students that don't know they have a common room, and that's the problem. It's like, basically, we are the class reps. We don't only care about when the students come crying and whining about the fact that a lecture is really bad. We also care about the student learning department. Didn't have a microwave, didn't have a kettle. I've spent the whole year last year class rep, and the thing is, like, when he went to the committee meeting, they were every time rejecting it. First committee meeting, they say that there are too many students. I'm like, what the heck? It's like when you go to St. Andrews, they have two microwaves, they got a coffee machine, they got a washing machine, a laundry, a dishwasher, and they got a shower. I'm just asking for a microwave. If you want me, I can show you the email that I sent just because I want a microwave. I have too many things to do. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's like, I'm like, I sent the email to the head of the department. I'm like, yeah, I would like to talk to you about the highly controversial topic of microwave. Like, for real, if you talk a microwave in my department, it's like asking for the moon, I don't know what. So I'm just asking for a microwave. And the thing is, like, he accepted to meet with me. And after 30 minutes, I convinced him to bring not one microwave, two microwaves and a kettle. And I'm meeting him again next week. And I'm going to make him buy a fridge and a coffee machine and establish scholarships, because we are really in the deep shit in this university. I don't know, I just showed you, like, here. Student quality teaching, you are in the bottom, and we are in the bottom also in the NSS. I don't know, for those who don't know what's the NSS is the National Student Survey, and our university is ranked 4th-year students who graduate, and we are in the bottom. We're not the bottom, but these shady chats relax. Like, care. I will come every day, knock at his door. Even if he doesn't talk to me, I will come every day. And even after a week he doesn't talk to me, I will call Jerry, and Jerry will go on court to the principal. And we will go on court, even if it's just about a microwave. Because the microwave is like, what? It's a fucking microwave. It's like, you know the small box? Okay, so guys, yeah, you start first.
So what does he need the head of department to do? Like,
Basically,
what do you want them to do?
the head department needs to improve, because the principal wants our university to get better.
What do they need to improve on?
Everything.
Sorry?
Everything. Yeah, because the teaching quality, what's the teaching quality? It's the lecturers. The thing is, like, us as class reps, they don't take us seriously. We got used to us complaining all the time. We don't give positive feedbacks. We need to give also positive feedbacks. If you like a lecturer, you have to stay in the committee meeting, because you do that, and you always like one class rep got some complaint filed against a lecturer. Yeah, he was there. He can tell you about it. I can tell you more, but at least he did something. But we can't only. We are two class reps. And you know, he told me also. I've been told that there are class reps for every class in other departments. Yeah. So I don't know about there are 500 class reps in the whole university, and I think 500 class reps can change things. I care about this university. I'm a second year here, and I love them. I love my class. I'm like, it's a community. It's like a big family. I want to help him. And to say that you went to Strathclyde, bottom of teaching quality in Glasgow, or do you want to say I want to Strathclyde, the university that gets bold, imaginative, and amazing students, and also.
Can I say something? Yeah. So, and do you think that the problem is just the teachers and the tutors?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Because, like, yeah. So he tells me the problem is just the facilities, and now I'm telling you, problem is everything.
Okay.
It goes
so
from.
Because you were just talking about the teachers.
No, but it's everything, because when you go to St. Andrews or other top, like highly ranked universities, you see that there is a huge gap between our departments.
I mean, sorry. I know it's just getting on about 7:30. He does make. I know he's talking about a microwave, and he does get really excited, you know. But it does go a lot broader than that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because the microwave is just like the starting point. I'm not going to stop at a microwave. I'm establishing scholarships next week with the head of department, because our department don't have scholarships. If you go to mechanical engineering, you will have tons of scholarships and wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. We should let them talk. You.
Well, this is just like a tip because I don't want to undermine anything you said. I think it's all great. If you go to estates in your like building, so say your common room is in, like ours is in John Anderson, estates have given us a fan, they've given us tables, they've given us desks, anything that's left over. So if you like, they will be like, oh yeah, sure, we have like a spare.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically our head of department made it clear to me that he doesn't want anything without his permission.
Okay.
Your head
So
of
if
department.
you want something in the kitchen or in the common room, you have to have his permission. Otherwise it will be thrown away. Anything that's not without his permission will be get rid of. Not thrown away, but get rid of.
Okay. I think we've got a few other points quickly.
Can I come back to you? I think the guy has maybe. But no.
It's just a general point for like everyone. The university, part of their funding is based on the National Student Survey, which is why this is like suddenly a big massive thing, because if we score badly, our funding can get like cut back quite a bit, which, as you know, then scholarships, micros and so on don't become available. So yeah, basically, even the higher people in the unit, they have felt that this year because we've done badly. Will get listened to now because they can't afford to avoid it. Like they will have to go with what the students are telling them in order to get the National Student Survey back up to the standard they had beforehand.
Exactly, they will listen to you guys.
And I think the fundamental problem that I've noticed is the flow of information, because I didn't have a chance to pester my class rep to come here and vote today because I didn't know that this until earlier today. And they were already busy because they couldn't plan.
Okay.
Can I?
I'd like to say thanks, for speaking.
Can I just ask one more?
Yeah.
Can I just say
Last one.
about the article you said we're like bottom for Glasgow for teaching policy. Is that like average of all the departments? Or
Yeah, it's like the thing that was like in the wall of the building, like next to Royal College, the big thing that you was it because they're not proud of. They're proud when they are ranked first, but they're not proud of this.
But like because it's an average. They're doing pharmacy, for example.
But we're talking at the university as a whole. If a department is not doing well, there's a problem.
Shouldn't you just concentrate on?
One thing that has consistently been in meetings with the university about NSS scores, the one thing that has consistently been red alerted is assessment and feedback. And that's kind of where the class reps come in. So if you're not getting stuff back in time, or you're not getting it back with notes, that is the one thing where we're struggling on. But Mikey, who is essentially in charge of class reps and organises that, I'll pass on some notes from some of the things that have been mentioned. Hopefully he will bring that with information flow.
I will just conclude now. It's something from Raj. Quickly.
From Raj?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, Raj gave me some top tips for you guys when you want to microwave or change a lecture or whatever it is. Basically, the top tip is like, basically this university wants international students because they want money. And I pay, for example, I pay £13,200 per year. They will, if you tell them that what you're going to bring to that department will benefit and will attract international students, they will listen to you. If you tell, they will definitely listen to you. And also, I think Raj explained to me something, but I didn't quite get it. There's a people-oriented 5-year plan for 2025, and basically that 5-year plan is supposed to save the university rates from the H's like a phoenix. And also, one of other problems that you could use is like 20% less first for international students. Basically, that comes also to teaching quality. There are less first for international students, and the university cares about international students. So the international students are your friends. When you're going to go to the office of the head of the department or the office of the dean, you talk about international students because they are basically a big, it
means money.
Atomic bomb. Yeah. It's like you want to throw the bomb, you talk about international students.
let's not throw bombs about. But thank you very much for.
Okay, last one. And then there is the. Sorry.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to bring this meeting to a close. If you speak to Raj and Mikey, they will bring that to the next one. Just a few points. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sorry. A few points. We have the Student Day of Walkout taking place on the 17th of November, which is next week. This is obviously Theresa May is a bit of an idiot, and it's basically a proposed policy that if you are an international student on EU and you graduate, you need to have at least £9,000 in your savings. So as an act of solidarity, Raj has organised with NUS level Day of Walkout. There are leaflets here. He's done some videos that Strath TV have also coordinated. Under AOCB, does anyone have any things briefly? Because we do have NUS Scotland zones next week, and if anyone's interested in that, can they come and see me just now? I've looked at the agenda. It is very much centred on the Scottish elections, which are taking place in May next year. We're aiming for about 4 delegates, and I know this sounds quite sexist, but this is NUS that have said this, not me. Half of the delegates need to be female. So obviously if like 4 guys come to me and say can we go, the answer is no. But that is an NUS policy, and it was passed at NUS women's conference, sorry. So that's out with my hands before you get the pitchforks out. But if no one has any other questions, yes.
It's just about the walkout thing. Is there any way we could get the maybe try and arrange for like lectures to be moved so we can still attend our lectures?
We discussed this last time. It's like the lecturer proposal, so they're not going to do anything like major within that lecture.
Yeah, if you direct your questions straight to Raj, who will be back on Friday. If you message him, it's ussa.bpd@strath.ac.uk. And thanks very much for coming. I know it's been a big debate. Sorry, Leonard, we didn't get your motion through. It's not horrible. I know people are saying it's very passionate. I think that's really great. This is the first student parliament I've been to. I'm definitely not taking praise for it. Being excited. Pizza and juice always helps. Thanks very much for voting. Thanks for coming along on your Tuesday night. And if you can all return your voter thing. And if you can like tell your other class reps, your faculty reps about student parliament for next month, that would be great. Thank you very much. Yes.